black Republican who believes in pulling yourself by your bootstraps, rather than, to me, understanding the systemic racism that African Americans face in this country.
Joy Behar doesn't understand that she is a buffoon.
And special thanks to people who have been giving the super thanks in the comment sections. Thank you so much. It means a great deal to me that you will go above and beyond to make sure you show support to the channel. That means a great deal. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So you all know who Joy Behar is, right? She is pretty much just like me when it comes to not knowing a damn thing about politics, but always got something to say. That's pretty much it. She always got something to say, and she don't know a damn thing, but she has a platform. And when you give people a platform, they talk. What do you expect? Well, what she didn't expect was for Byron Donalds to put his whole foot in her back pockets after going on TV and saying what she said.
Byron Donalds, Republican from Florida, joins me now. Welcome back, Congressman. It's been too long. Welcome back.
This brother has been showing off, man. I hope one day this person runs for president. That would be dope.
Yeah, it's been too long, Stu, but I'm glad to be back.
But I doubt he'll do well as president because you got to play too many games in order to be a president. You got to, like, you're going to have so many investors who are going to feel like you owe them something. And then as soon as you don't do what they want you to do, they're going to find a way to try and destroy your career.
Tonight, DeSantis will be side by side with a very powerful guy. I think that's a political coup for DeSantis, and I think it's going to help him. I know you're with Trump. What do you say to this?
Well, look, I mean, he's going to have to launch it. It's happening tonight. Elon Musk being there. Yeah, that's a big deal. I'll give him full credit. But there's a long way to go in this process. And unfortunately, the governor, he's got a lot of ground to make up. But one thing's very clear. We're going to have a very spirited primary. Once again, Republicans are proving that we actually like this thing called democracy. We're engaging debate. And that's a far cry from what the DNC and Joe Biden are doing. They're not even letting Joe Biden debate his Democrat opponents. So the party that's always lecturing Republicans about democracy, frankly, doesn't believe in it.
No, they don't at all. And they're scared as hell to have Joe Biden go back and forth with anybody. That's crazy. And all they're going to do is watch all these people go back and forth on each other, just debate the hell out of one another. And they're going to pick them apart. They're going to take all the negatives that was posed against one another, all from the infighting, and they're going to use it in the general election to try and put their guy over the top. Who a lot of Democrats are pissed off that Joe Biden is even considering running again. Pissed. That should say a whole lot about Joe Biden.
This is basically right now we're going to enter into a DeSantis versus Trump debate. You think this is the debate that America needs?
Well, to be honest, I think it's going to be more than just Trump versus DeSantis. You have now, 7, 8 people. Other people are thinking about wanting to get in this field. I know people are looking at the top 2 in the polls right now, but these races all take on lives of their own. And everybody that's running, they all have something credible that they bring to the table. But at the end of the day, Stu, they got to play major catch up with the 45th president of the United States because Donald Trump has a huge lead. I think in terms of the debate, our country does want to hear this because we're dealing with a president right now in Joe Biden who doesn't talk to anybody, doesn't engage with media. You never have any idea what's going on in his mind if there's anything going on in there at all. So it's important to hear from people who are vying for the White House about what they want to do, and I think that's a good thing for the country.
I like that. This guy, he's very objective, very open-minded. He sees the whole scope. This guy's cool.
Senator Rick Scott is responding to the NAACP's travel advisory for Florida. He's issued his own advisory for socialists. And I'm going to quote this one. You're going to love this one, Congressman. Florida is openly hostile towards socialists and communists and those that enable them. Before traveling to Florida, please understand that the state of Florida devalues and marginalizes the contributions and the challenges faced by socialists and others who work in the Biden administration. So let's get serious for a second. You're a black man living in Florida. Have you come across any of the hostility that the NAACP talks about?
No. I mean, look, this whole conversation is ridiculous.
Yes, it is. And I was about to say the question was ridiculous. And you might not think so, but a one-off don't tell you a whole story, regardless even if he did face any type of discrimination or anything like that. That does not mean that a great majority of people who even look like him, if he were to answer in the affirmative and say, absolutely, my life has been a living hell in Florida lately. And I think it's because I'm black. Because of 1619. That's why they treat me like this. If he would have said that, that don't mean that the other black people are facing the same thing. It don't mean that any people of another culture or color other than white people are treated that way. So just to put everybody in that one basket, it's absolutely ridiculous, man. I think it's dumb as hell, for real. It's absolutely dumb.
The NAACP statement is really, really stupid. I don't know why they thought this was going to be a winning issue, especially considering that the third largest population of black people in any state happens to be in Florida. Floridians, especially black Floridians, but all Floridians, they're starting businesses. Their kids are thriving in our schools. They're actually able to live their lives free from government overreach. If there's anything that they should be concerned about, it's the living conditions in Portland, Oregon, or in Los Angeles, California, or Chicago, Illinois, or even my home city of New York City. They should be concerned about that and the implications on their on black kids, and the implications on safety and security. Maybe the NAACP should focus on that. But in Florida,
thank you, bro. Byron Donalds, you're a good dude. I ain't meat riding you or nothing. You're just a good dude, man. Keep going. Keep putting that truth out there. Keep giving them that common sense along with that intellect that you're doing, man. It's necessary.
There's a reason why people keep coming, is because we know how to run a state and people are free to live their lives.
Absolutely. And a lot of times the reason why so many people are against what Florida are doing right now is because Florida is actually saying, man, you know what? Screw this. We about to make some moves to make sure that foolishness that y'all talking about all across the rest of the country is not going to happen here. I commend DeSantis for it. I don't care what anybody says. I commend him for making this, for making the stance that he's making. At the end of the day, I do, because that's what people should do when they see all this BS going on and they see it's coming toward us. Like it could potentially affect us as well. Nah, let's go ahead and nip this in the bud right now. It's not coming here anymore. Forget that.
One more for you. The co-host of The View, Joy Behar, says Tim Scott doesn't understand systemic racism. Watch this, please.
He's one of these guys who, he's like Clarence Thomas, black Republican, who believes in pulling yourself by your bootstraps, rather than, to me, understanding the systemic racism that African Americans face in this country and other minorities. He doesn't get it, neither does Clarence.
Right.
And that's why they're Republicans.
Joy, you don't get it, baby girl. You sound dumb as hell because you're in such of an echo chamber of people who just complain and complain and complain and complain and complain, and you feel by making them feel like, oh yeah, it's right. You're absolutely right. If you were a white man, you'll be much further ahead. Huh? Come on, Joy, don't do that. What you're doing is you're showing blatant disrespect to all of the black people in your life that you know and love by acting as if they are such victims when they are not. And then you're going to say he only has this way of thinking is because he's Republican? That's dumb as hell. That's just me, though.
Congressman, would you like to respond to that?
Listen, Joy Behar doesn't understand that she is a buffoon. She.
Hold on. Oh, man. And then he said it with such a straight face, man.
To respond to that.
Listen, Joy Behar doesn't understand that she is a buffoon. She's paid to spew these things. Nobody really pays attention to anything that she believes in or she talks about. And this is also, she sounds good on the Upper West Side, but the rest of America looks at her and says she is utterly ridiculous. I don't even know why her opinions even carry the level of weight that they do. Frankly, they really don't. But it's just a ridiculous opinion. She's never walked a day in Tim Scott's shoes or in my shoes or any other black person in America. So she needs to just sit down, stay in her lane, tell some jokes, but this is not an area for her to comment.
Congressman, just great to have you back.
That's called a mic drop, ladies and gentlemen. That's called a mic got daggone drop. Boom. Stay in your lane, Joy. That didn't sound right coming from me because that's my wife's name. My wife's name is Joy. But yeah, stay in your lane. Yeah, you don't know what people are dealing with. You don't know what people go through. You relax, okay? Just chill. What do you mean you don't deal with systemic racism? You got to. Everyone on the black side know have. At least they say they have. They're doing really well in life. They're doing better than a lot of the white people I know. They're happy. They're not in danger. But they're still being held back by the system, by the white man, by 1619. We can't forget about that. Relax. Your black friends will not be mad at you if you just decide to not even speak on the issues anymore, because clearly you have no grasp of what's going on in the black community. But you keep on hearing these people, these negative Nellies and negative Nelsons, who are always talking about the negatives and the potential blowback of being black in America, and you just want to, pamper them. I think that's utterly ridiculous.